Welcome back to episode 2 of our maxing series, and we're going to start with a little bit of woodcutting because we have a lot to catch up on. I'm probably sitting on about a month and a half of gameplay, and as you can see, as I promised, episode 2 is going to be the Inferno Cape, and I have never had an Inferno Cape. After getting the quiver like a month ago, I was like, dude, I think I just need to do it. So yeah, that's where the kind of the grind started, where I was like, I just gotta like focus in. And what I would do in between runs would be like woodcutting and Slayer, stuff like that, just because constantly doing Inferno things kind of makes you go crazy. So on top of the Inferno, we have a few 99s we're gonna get in this video, so it should be a good video. And if you're new, a subscribe and like would mean a lot. Well, I have a goal of reaching 10,000 subs, so any feedback and interactions help a lot. So let's just jump right into it. And again, thank you for watching. All right, I think I'm one log away. And there it is, 99 woodcutting. You know what's crazy is when I first started this account, my highest skill was woodcutting for like the longest time. I got it up to like, I remember like 80 while I had no other combats. So it's nice to, this is the first time ever getting a 99 skill that's not like combat. It's weird. Let's go buy the cape. All right, 99k. There we go. We officially are a master of the woodcutting. Well, my camera's all weird right now. Let me just try to get a cool little angle, but yeah, it's not really working. But hold on. Just set up here. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. No more trees to cut. And so you can see you got a 99 fire ranking. I also recorded that, but it's just boring. I'll put the clip right now. Finally, 99 fire making. Woohoo! All right, so we're about to get into gameplay with the Inferno, and I'm gonna show you my thought processes as I was going through it, going from a complete noob, never doing it ever, to how I finally got my first one, and how long it took, and everything like that. So just bear with me, and let's kind of just get right into it. Just a quick disclaimer, the footage you're gonna see is mostly gonna be the Zuck part because when it comes to the waves, I'm not going to break down how to go through individually, but I'm just going to kind of go over when I started learning what works and what doesn't, and how honestly easy it is to learn and dodge multiple attacks. So in the beginning, that was probably the biggest thing I was worried about was I have no idea how to flick against different. But honestly, after doing Coliseum, it's even easier than the Coliseum. So I'll go over how to do some things, but because once you learn how to dodge, let's say, major blob and range, as long as you can flick, you're usually just going to be able to get through the waves. So I'm not going to do a lot of wave gameplay, mostly learning and how I got better with the Zuck era. So yeah, let's get into it. My first time on wave 48 was a disaster. I panicked so bad. I had no idea about the magic tile magic. Because looking back at this now, it's like, wow, okay, I could have solved this pretty easily. But during this right here, I was freaking out. Mentally, I have no idea what I was supposed to be doing. You can see with the flicks, I have no idea. So the progression really started out as, okay, this is weird. And I would say a lot of the tips I got were from No Monkey and Dear Lola. Now, we got to wave 53. This was our next new PB. And again, what am I doing? At this point, I didn't understand how it worked to flick against the mage and ranger. As you can tell, I had no idea how to do it. But eventually I learned, and I bring this up to say the really a lot of the most information I learned was through a Discord called We Do Raids, and everybody told me about it on my videos to check them out because they have an Inferno section, and it is very, very in depth, going over absolutely everything, and it includes wave solves where certain stacks, if you're like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here, it has almost every single situation you can encounter. So if you're ever like, I had no idea what to do there, I recommend recording your gameplay. And every time you make an error or die, you can go back and watch and see what you potentially could have done to solve that wave. Because at the end of the day, there is always a solve, even though it may not look like it in the beginning. When it comes to this wave, we just end up dying anyway, so we can just skip this. This just shows that, hey, I had no idea how to flick against these two. Crazy to see how bad I fumbled this wave 65 PB. I easily could have solved this, but I died on 65. My first time ever making it to 66 and clearing it and finally getting the Jad. I forgot I could use a slog out thing, so it instantly threw me in. I kind of was like, oh shit. But as long as you keep your focus in, I've learned Jad and triple Jads. It's not difficult as long as you focus. So as long as you stand on this tile, which is basically one tile northwest of all of the Jads, it gives you essentially the best prediction for the healer phase. So yeah, we had no issues getting past the first Jad, and honestly, the three Jads too wasn't horrible for my first time. And I did use the Zuck simulator a lot in my free time. So I thought I had an idea of how this was gonna go. Supplies were like, all right, right? But here's the issue on my first ever Zuck, and it's so silly. But honestly, I was still proud to have made it this far. You'll see my tiles. I have 5 million tiles marked because I had all these different tile packs. So I had no idea where to stand. And compared to when I was doing the simulator, it didn't seem familiar on where to go every time. So like I knew that one, but the ones at the end here I didn't know, and it's honestly just the easiest way to die. The stupidest way to die too. Like this is the part I didn't really know. So unfortunately we died right away, but I was proud because I'm like, okay, it shows I can get past all the waves. I can get to this point. And if I can get to this point, I've done the Zuck simulator a lot of times, so I think I can get this done. You can see we did like no damage. Um, yeah, looking back at this, it's pretty sad. Thought I had an idea what I was doing. I had no idea. Yeah, I'm looking back like, golly, dude. But again, guys, this is where the progress kind of started. And, look, we got the Ranger out. You know what? It wasn't horrible, I guess. Could have been worse, I guess. But I'm just like looking at it and kind of cringing. But yeah, actually, if I had the right tiles marked, well, looking at the supplies as well, 2 doses of brew, yeah, no. So yeah, it is what it is. It's second time on triple Jads. You won't believe it, but I was just not mentally there. I died. It was so sad. Second time on Zuck, we got to Jad. And this is actually a pretty good run. So let's kind of see what happens here. So going with Jad here, I never really had an issue with Jad on a simulator either. So as long as you get your prayers right and just be patient, you're fine. More than enough time. And I'm gonna kind of go over what I was thinking in this moment and what I should have done because it's pretty sad. After I killed a ranger, this is so silly. I'm ready for healers to spawn, and I took off Pray for Magic. Completely disregarded it because again, I'm still such a noob. Ranger killed me. Another Zuck run we got to healers. I want something to be clear here and kind of what I learned. Healers is probably the hardest part of this whole thing. And a lot of the recommendations for first cape was wear Justy Helm, which I did because it allows you to tank more, right? Make more mistakes. This is what ended up costing me a lot, especially for DPS. Don't run Justy Helm. If you're gonna run Bofa, just run full crystal. I swear that difference made a huge difference when it came to the end. So this was a somewhat decent run. I was proud of it because I actually defeated the healers first time ever. But as you can tell with the Justy Helm, I am not hitting absolutely anything, nor do I have any brews left. So really the only way I could have completed this with no brews is if I would have DPS'd him down. Unfortunately, the healers all got to him and he was over 400. So at this point, you just know you're cooked. However, even though it was sad, I was like, well, it's a new milestone, a new PB. We are getting closer and closer. I think I end up getting him down to like 200 HP, but again, as you can see with Justy Helm, nothing's hitting. Even though I'm potted up, rigger's on. Look, a 1. After all those misses, another miss. Don't rock Justy Helm. You need the DPS. Another set spawns. I freak out mentally. I have no HP. It's over. Good fight. We got to another Zuck, and at this point, I was starting to get there relatively, like every 2 times, I'd say. So not every time, but consistently. And again, healers was the one thing that I kind of was nervous about every single time, but we end up clearing the healers again. And let's see if we get the cape this time. We still have a brew left. At this point, I was feeling pretty confident. I've defeated 2 sets. Notice I still have Justy Helm. This was, keep in mind, at a point where I didn't realize that DPS was going to be that important, so I stuck with it. I stuck with the Justy Helm for probably 2 weeks. And although it did help me learn the waves more, ultimately don't do it. Learn the waves so you can prayer flick, and the DPS will help you out a lot more. He still has way too much HP, and I still am doing absolutely no damage. It's just sad to see all those misses. You know, it's what's crazy too is once I switched to Crystal Helm, I think it only took me like 2 more attempts and I got the Inferno. So it shows that yeah, DPS with that is very important. I believe triple sets here spawn, and that is of course what will break me because supplies don't look too great. Yeah, 1 sip of brew. And this is where it gets really cringy because look at watch the ranger how generous he is. I actually hit a nice spec right here, get up to 90 HP. Then he hits a 46, a 24, and then he finishes me off on the same tick that I kill him. So if I would have finished him, should have brewed up there, but finish him, pray magic, potentially could have got it there. This one hurt bad. Switch to Crystal Helm and I'm doing a lot better. We have so many supplies here, but I get robbed so bad. Watch this. This Jad shows that I hit a 44 while he has 43. It turns red, and I thought he died. I completely disregarded him, focused on these two. When I realized right there that he's still alive, panicked and died with all of these supplies. This was my best run ever. Crystal Helm. I was so sad. But again, this was my fault. After that, we went back in and we got there again. This time we were focused in and got all three Jeds. And the best part of this all, I had almost the same amount of supplies as last time. So I felt extremely confident going into this one. I figured, okay, as long as I can DPS him, as long as healer stage goes okay, I should be fine. Again, look at the brews, bastions, restores already. So let's brew up. We log out and we lock right back in. At this point, it's like 12:30 in the morning. I am locked in right now. So check this out. This is where things got so scary for me because it may not look like it, but dude, I am kind of like, bro, if I misclick something, I swear I'm dead. HP is getting low. These guys still have a lot of life left. Oh man, I just realized at this point, okay, you have brew. At the end of the day, just stay with the shield and brew if you really need to. And at this point, I'm like, dude, send the brews, restore, and let's just kill him, please. Do this before the next set spawns. So I try to brew up as quick as I can. And at this point, I have just one thought, like, just don't be the bad DPS we had with the Justy. And then I start seeing these good hits. I'm like, Bofa is doing what Bofa does. And this was so satisfying because at this moment, I realized I should be able to just get this. As long as I'm with the shield, this is no reason I don't get the cape right here. I really don't think this is hard. As long as you stay low, and I'm seeing this 35. I'm like, dude, oh, dude, at this point, it's set in. I have the cape. Because, look, I got the HP. Yeah, and I'm thinking, you know what? If this third set spawns, I'm gonna let it just take the shield. This thing's 50 HP. Just stay focused, stay with the shield. You're fine. You have no way of dying. Yep. And when I seen this, yes. And check this out. I had no idea. We got so many combat achievements from this. The pillars one, that was a huge one. There's one that's like basically don't take any damage from Zuck or Jad. So it was one of like perfection tasks. We got so many done on this for a first cave. It was huge. At this point, I was in shock. I grabbed my phone and I took pictures and sent them to some of my friends because it was like 1 in the morning at this point. Look at all these. Boom, Grandmaster, Master, Grandmaster. And my first ever cape took an hour and 51 minutes. Oh, what a journey. What a journey. I will say this is the best feeling I've ever had on RuneScape. The quiver was nice, it was cool, but this was a different feeling. I think everyone should go for it. Even if you think you can't, you can. It's just gonna be some time and some deaths.